Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the City of Oxnard Planning Commission for Thursday, May 1, 2025. The meeting will come to order at 6:01 p.m. The public may view the meeting from home on the city's website, Spectrum Channel 10, Frontier Channel 35, or on the city's YouTube website. To participate in the meeting, the public may provide comments to the Planning Commission via email at planning@oxnard.org no later than 3 p.m. on the day of the meeting, or through the city's website at oxnard.org/city-meetings, or call the Planning Division office. Additionally, those wishing to speak can dial the phone number listed at the bottom of the screen, follow the instructions to access the meeting, and press *9 to raise your hand, indicating your intention to speak on the agenda
Recording
item
in progress.
being discussed. Madam Secretary, can we please have the roll call?
Chair Arrejo,
Present.
Vice Chair Dr. Stewart,
Present.
Commissioner Lopez, Commissioner Nash.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We will now move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Zaragoza, will you kindly lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Zaragoza. We'll move on to C, public comments on items not on the agenda. At this time, a person may address the Planning Commission on matters within the jurisdiction of the Planning Commission, including information consent items at any time not appearing on the agenda. The Planning Commission cannot take action on any item presented during public comments that is not on the agenda, and such item may only be referred to the Commission Secretary. Persons wishing to speak on public hearing items should do so at the time of the public hearing. Madam Secretary, are there any public comments for items not on the agenda?
There are none.
Thank you. We'll move on to the consent agenda, and with none listed, we'll move on to ex parte declarations. Please state any ex parte declarations, if any. I'll move across the dais. Commissioner Dr. Lopez.
None, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Vice Chair Dr. Stewart.
None, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Nash.
None, thank you.
And none for myself. The next item on the agenda is Section F, Public Hearing. F1, Project Name 2030, General Plan and Local Coastal Plan Conformity Determination for the City of Oxnard Mid-Cycle Update to the Capital Improvement Program, fiscal years 25 to 29. The Planning Commission will review the mid-cycle update to the CIP for fiscal years 25 to 29 to confirm the projects are in conformance with the City of Oxnard 2030 General Plan and relevant coastal land use plan policies pursuant to Section 65401 of the Government Code. The CIP includes a range of roadway improvements, maintenance of public facilities, stormwater drainage improvements, and other miscellaneous projects. The whole of the proposed CIP projects are located throughout the City of Oxnard and vary in scope and funding. Filed by the City of Oxnard Public Works Department, City Staff Maureen Kessler, City Engineer. Per Measure M, a staff presentation has been pre-recorded and the link has been posted to YouTube. Does staff wish to give some introductory remarks at this time?
Yes, Chair Arrejo. As a result of an attachment being missing from this item, we are requesting that the item get continued to the June 5th Planning Commission meeting for the date certain. So staff is recommending that the commission vote to continue that to June 5th.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pearson. Even though the recommendation has been to move this item to June 5th, we'll go through the regular public hearing and then most likely go through that motion. At this time, members may ask questions of staff. If there's any. If none at this time, Madam Secretary, is there any public comment?
There is none.
Thank you. And at this time, I will move this item to the next agenda item. Is there a second? Or I'm sorry, move this agenda item to the next Planning Commission meeting on June 5. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Vice Chair Dr. Stewart. If there are no comments on this motion, Madam Secretary, can I have the roll call, please?
Chair Arrejo,
Aye.
Dr. Stewart,
Aye.
Commissioner Lopez,
Aye.
Commissioner Nash.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We'll move on to agenda item F2, project name AT&T Mono Eucalyptus Wireless Facility. Planning and zoning permit number 24-530-04, special use permit wireless, property located at 921 Ventura Boulevard. A request to construct a 50-foot tall wireless communication stealth facility designed to resemble a eucalyptus tree with an associated ground equipment enclosure within a 364 square foot lease area of a .96 acre property developed with existing commercial retail building within the general commercial plan development. The application includes a request for a height of 15 feet above the existing 35-foot height limit within the general commercial zone pursuant to Article 16, Section 16-108 of the Oxnard City Code, which allows height increases through approval of a special use permit filed by designated agent John McDonald, Yukon Group, on behalf of AT&T Mobility, on behalf of the property owner, Cavort Properties of Newport Beach. City staff, Chantal Power, contract planner. Per Measure M, a staff presentation has been pre-recorded and the link has been posted to YouTube. Per previously approved standing rules, staff can provide a brief summary of the pre-recorded presentation in addition to other analysis at this time. Does staff wish to give some introductory remarks?
Yes, I can give some remarks on the project. So this is a special use permit for the Planning and Zoning Commission, 24-530-04. A few things to note. I mean, you went through the basic project description, but a few things to note about this particular project is this is a 50-foot tall mono eucalyptus tree that will be placed behind an existing commercial structure located at 921 Ventura Boulevard. Last month, you approved a temporary facility that will be in place until this permanent facility can be built. And then when this permanent facility is built, the temporary facility on wheels will be removed. And then you'll have the 50-foot mono eucalyptus. There's several conditions in place specific to the types of foliage, the density of the foliage, the maintenance of the foliage and the bark and the enclosure. The enclosure itself is made of an 8-foot chain link fence with privacy slats colored to match the existing commercial building. The tower and equipment enclosure will occupy approximately 4 parking spaces. The temporary that will be in place until this permanent is built is proposed to take up 3 parking spaces. So this will take 1 additional parking space. But as the parking study showed, there's a surplus of more than enough parking available for the uses, which are relatively low intensity commercial uses. The project is also located within 500 feet of a scenic highway, Highway 101. But as this is a stealth facility, there will be no non-compliance issues with any of the code requirements for these types of facilities. Additionally, this is in a highly urbanized area of the scenic highway that doesn't really have any of the scenic resources that would require additional review through CEQA. So that pretty much concludes what the basic details of this. One other thing, this was mentioned in the hearing last month for the temporary facility, but this facility is being constructed at this location because there was another facility right around the intersection of Highway 101 and Vineyard that is being removed. And so this facility will basically cover the area that will be left without coverage with the removal of the other facility. So that's the bulk of this project, the project details. If you have any additional questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you, Ms. Power. Appreciate that.
Chair,
Mr. Pearson.
I just wanted to note that we did receive a few questions before the hearing from one of the commissioners. Just wanted to provide some brief responses to those. One of the questions was, what is the expected lifespan of the monopole? That question would probably be better answered by the applicant team, so that one I'm sure the applicant team can speak to. The other one was, have there been occurrences of any parts of the monopine structure, including antennas or hardware falling off? At least at this point in time, there hasn't been any occurrences of that we're aware of within the city. So these do go through the building permit process, which also speaks to the third question, which is, are the monopoles tested to withstand, wind and weather events? So that is part of the building permit process. So that is part of the structural review for these facilities, and I'm sure the applicant can also add more to that as well. But just wanted to highlight those before handing it over to the applicant.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pearson. And now we'll move on to the applicant if they are here. Thank you. As you come on down, you will have 15 minutes to speak, and you can begin when ready.
Thank you. My name is David Elliott with Yukon Group on behalf of AT&T. I'm here to essentially just answer any questions with regards to the lifespan of these fault trees. I've seen them up for 20 plus years. With respect to how if is there any equipment that falls off? In my experience, I haven't seen any of that, and I've been in the industry for a long time. What are the questions that we have? Oh, yes, we do have structural engineers that stamp and approve these plans. They do extensive testing and calculations with manufacturer to make sure that the structure is sound.
Okay, thank you for that. I think I may have missed it, but I think one of the questions was the lifetime or the life of the
Oh, yeah, so
tower.
With the companies that we partner up, the fabricators.
Apologize. I'm gonna have you pause if you could stop the time, and if we could. Oh. Thank you. Appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much. And yes, continue at your.
So with regards to the lifespan and of these structures, it varies from company to company. We do use fabricators that we partner up. AT&T does with fabricators that are reputable, and they've had a great reputation with how long they last. AT&T does regular maintenance on these towers, so if there's anything amiss, if a leaf falls off and it starts to look not like a tree, my understanding is that they have a contract to replace and upkeep these towers. But yeah, in terms of which company, we don't know that yet until we move to the next stage, which is the building portion of this process.
Acknowledge, thank you. If I think I hit all the questions, I'll look to Mr. Pearson really quickly. Did he answer the two questions, I believe?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pearson. Thank you, sir, but don't go away yet. At this time, members may ask questions of either the applicant and staff. Commissioner Nash.
Thank you, Chair. So we have two monopole approval issues here with us tonight, and it seems like we're moving beyond the traditional 35-foot limit. What is your feeling on how the industry is moving towards higher monopoles? Because I mean, it's directly related to coverage, and, coverage is very important. So I would submit the question to both you and staff, should we be looking at increasing that 35-foot height that we've been subject to? Because I do think these higher monopole towers will come before the commission as we get more requests.
I can only speak to, I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to say from a staff point of view, of course, I'm a consultant, so I'm not as familiar with the code as Mr. Pearson is. However, I can tell you that a 50-foot height and above is actually very standard for a wireless facility, and that really is to reach as much coverage as possible with one pole. Rather than having lots of poles placed all over the place. And it's really the height that's needed in order to get that coverage. I think in terms of your particular regulations and your code, the 35-foot height was really written for structures, for buildings, and not so much with wireless facilities in mind. So that's something at some point, if you want to amend your code, that you can look towards having some additional allowance for wireless facilities and other types of similar utilities.
Thank you for that. That's certainly something for staff to consider. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Nash. Madam Secretary, we can turn off the clock now, just in case. Appreciate that. Any others from the commission at this time? Vice Chair Dr. Stewart.
Yes, just to follow with Commissioner Nash, I think the last several of these monopoles that we've approved, I brought up the issue of the 35 feet, and here we still sit with that as a limiter. How do we push it to the next step to say, well, from what we've heard now from staff is that this is the way of the future. How do we get our code updated so that it is compliant with where we're supposed to be going?
So, Vice Chair Dr. Stewart, in regards to that, it would require a code amendment based on our current ordinance. The height limits in our code are currently set by the zoning standard. So for projects within the C2 zoning designation, all development is subject to the 35-foot height limit. That section of the code does have that allowance. So both for these wireless facilities as well as other buildings can be increased in height through the special use permit process. These facilities will ultimately still come before the commission whether the height limit was changed or not. So the process would be to do that code amendment. So it's definitely something we can look at as part of the next code amendment process. But for the time being, the commission would ultimately still have the ability to allow the additional height in any case in which they felt it was appropriate for that location.
Thank you, Vice Chair Dr. Stewart. Commissioner Dr. Lopez.
Yes, thank you. One of my fellow commissioners submitted a question about the lifespan of the structure itself, but I was just curious, what is the plan that the industry has or that you all would have to decommission and deconstruct at the end of life and not left there as a permanent structure?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Is there a plan, like after the lifespan of the actual structure of the antenna itself? Like, so at the end of life, like, is there, how do you typically decommission and deconstruct them and not leave them and abandon them there?
Yeah, it's in the code for us to remove the structure and after decommissioning. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's already in there in the language to remove it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And a little bit of a follow-up to Commissioner Nash and Vice Chair Dr. Stewart's inquiries. How much easier, if any, would it be in regards to applying for the permit if you didn't have to also do the special use permit to increase the height? This is not really in particular to this, although it is related, but I just want to know for something for the future, if it could make it easier in terms of time or cost in the future.
It would make it easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Greatly appreciate that. I'll have some comments for the commission during a later section, but that won't have to relate to this item. So thank you very much. If there's no other questions at this time, we'll move on to the public comment. Madam Secretary, is there any public comment for this item?
No, there is none.
Thank you very much. And are there any closing remarks from staff? Ms. Power?
None at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The public hearing is now closed and we'll move on to deliberation. Commission. And if there's no further deliberation, a motion is in order. Commissioner Nash?
Chair, I move the recommended action.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Nash to find the project exempt from environmental review pursuant to the California Environmental Quality Act guidelines, Section 15303, Class 3, new construction, and adopt Resolution 2025-XX, approving planning and zoning permit number 24-530-04, special use permit wireless, subject to certain findings and conditions. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Dr. Lopez. Any other further comments on the motion before us? Seeing and hearing none, Madam Secretary, can we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Nash,
Aye.
Commissioner Dr. Lopez,
Aye.
Vice Chair Dr. Stewart,
Aye.
Chair Arrejo.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks. We'll move on to agenda item F3, project name AT&T Mono Eucalyptus Wireless Facility. Planning and zoning permit number 24-530-02, special use permit wireless, property located at 511 Buena Vista Avenue. A request to construct a 100-foot tall wireless communication stealth facility designed to resemble a eucalyptus tree with an associated ground equipment enclosure within an 864 square foot enclosure of a 0.49 acre property developed with a hardscape art manufacturer and associated office. The property is located within the heavy manufacturing zoning district, filed by designated agent Jeremy Siegel, Yukon Group, on behalf of APC Towers applicant, on behalf of the property owner Ruben Ortega. City staff Michael Lackman. Per Measure M, a staff presentation has been pre-recorded and the link has been posted to YouTube. Per previously approved standing rules, staff can provide a brief summary of the pre-recorded presentation. In addition to other analysis at this time, does staff wish to give some introductory remarks?
Good evening, Commission. I do have some introductory remarks just based on some questions that were raised by a commissioner. So just to clarify, on page 123 of the Planning Commission meeting agenda, subsection F titled Height, the target area was incorrectly identified as the intersection of Vineyard Avenue and Ventura Road. That has since been corrected to reflect the accurate target area of the intersection of Buena Vista Avenue and 5th Street. Additionally, a comment was received regarding condition number 49, which states, quote, "The emergency generator shall be tested only during the hours of 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. from Monday through Saturday. The emergency generator shall not be tested on Sunday," end quote. The concern regarding this condition is that the area directly around the project site is heavy industrial, so the time restriction may not be appropriate or necessary for this specific project. However, staff recommends that this condition stays as a standard condition for all wireless facilities. And while the areas directly adjacent to the project site of 511 Buena Vista Avenue are heavy industrial, there is existing farm worker housing approximately 300 feet east of the project site, located at 1700 East 5th Street, which warrants justification for this condition. That's all I have for this moment. Thank you.
Thank you. To briefly follow up, that second item, you said that the staff still recommended that was kept in. The first one, can you repeat the intersection again?
Yes, of course. So on page 123 of the Planning Commission meeting agenda, which is part of the staff report, subsection F titled Height, the target area was incorrectly identified as the intersection of Vineyard Avenue and Ventura Road. This is the target area for the wireless coverage. That has been corrected to reflect the accurate target area of the intersection of Buena Vista Avenue and 5th Street, which is where the project is located.
Okay. Thank you. And that was just in the staff report and not in the resolution, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate that. At this time, the applicant, if they are here, can present, if any. Thank you, sir, and you have 15 minutes, and you can begin at your leisure.
Very good. Vance Pomeroy, representing APC Towers, on behalf of Jeremy Siegel, who is not able to be here this evening. We've had an opportunity to take a look at the findings in the staff report and the resolution, as well as the conformance chart there, and as well as the conditions of approval in the resolution, and find no issues. The time limit issue is not, that was brought up, the question I should say, is not a problem. That's not a problem at all. So if you have any further questions, I'm here to assist you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pomeroy. I'll look now to the commission if they have any questions. Commission. Seeing no questions, I'll move on to public comment. Madam Secretary, is there any public comment other than what was previously submitted, which was actually the applicant themselves?
No, there is none.
Okay, thank you very much. The public comment period is now closed, or the public hearing is now closed, and we'll move on to deliberation. Commission. If there are no remarks from the commission, motion is now in order.
I'll make a motion to move the recommended action.
It has been moved by Vice Chair Dr. Stewart to, where should I put this? To find the project exempt from environmental review pursuant to CEQA Guidelines Section 15303, Class 3, new construction, and adopt Resolution 2025-XX, approving planning and zoning permit number 24-530-02, special use permit, wireless, subject to certain findings and conditions. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Dr. Lopez. If there are no further remarks on the motion before us, Madam Secretary, can we have the roll call, please?
Vice Chair Dr. Stewart,
Aye.
Commissioner Dr. Lopez,
Aye.
Commissioner Nash,
Aye.
Chair Arrejo.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. We'll now move on to study session reports, and with none on the agenda, business will move on to section I, Planning Commission business. Is there any business or updates to report from the commission? Commissioners? Seeing none at this time, as I have a brief comment for myself, as you see tonight, we only have officially on our roster 5 members of the Planning Commission until at least June, and probably, in my opinion, July would be the earliest to have 7 members on this body. If you know already, not if you know, you do know already, if you know already, please communicate to me your planned absences until such time that we have full membership on the commission. Given planned absences, I'm recommending to staff to cancel the May 15 meeting and may do so again for the June 19 meeting due to my planned absence on that day. I have made it known, as you all know, blind copy to both Mayor MacArthur and Councilman Starr to select an appointee who will be approved by the City Council at their earliest convenience for primarily quorum purposes. I'm hoping they do so as expeditiously as possible for potential approval at their May 20 or June 3 City Council meeting in time for the potential likely June 5 Planning Commission meeting. If anyone in the public is interested, please contact the City Clerk's office for an application and questions on the process in addition to both Mayor MacArthur and Councilman Starr for possible selection. Thank you all. We'll move on to Community Development Staff Update. Mr. Pearson.
Thank you, Chair Rejo and Commissioners. So as you noted, due to a lack of a quorum for the upcoming May 15th meeting, we will be canceling that meeting. So we'll have the June 5th meeting. We do have 2 items scheduled for that meeting. A subdivision or tentative map of a existing industrial park, as well as a conversion of an existing building into a residential apartment complex. And then we'll have the item, the CIP, which was continued from tonight's meeting. So we'll have, at this time, at least 3 items, and then we're also working on bringing forward a project update, just to highlight some of the development projects. So that may also be on for that meeting, or we may move that one just depending on timing.
Thank you for that, Mr. President. A comment from me. I might propose that staff postpone that update until we get at least one new member. So I'm not making a final decision on that, but that's just an option. Thank you very much.
And then the last thing was the Till Club specific plan went to its second reading on Tuesday, and it was approved at that meeting. So that project is continuing to move forward. The next step for that project is to then go through the LAFCO process. So that will be getting started, and the LAFCO process will be the formal approval of the annexation process, or the annexation of the property into the city. Once that process is completed, then they will proceed forward with the actual entitlements, tentative maps, and the tentative map will come back before the Planning Commission for recommendation to City Council. And then some of the development projects, depending on like the actual individual projects, may come back before the commission or may be at the director level, just depending on the scope and scale of the projects. But that will be moving forward.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson. If there's no objection, I'm going to go back to the previous section. There was a comment that I promised on the second agenda item that I was going to make in relation to our second and third public hearings. I think given the questions previously by Vice Chair Dr. Stewart and then again by Commissioner Nash in regards to the height, and my question to follow up was there going to be some type of reduction in cost or time? I think it would be good for the City Council to at least hear or see that. And so I'll propose something, or any other commissioners, to have the Planning Commission either do something informal or formal to let the City Council know, and then we'll be up in their court. So I think that's good, especially with all of these towers coming in. We've had a lot. So I think that's reasonable, logical, and in the best interest of everyone involved. So thank you very much for that. Since there is no further business, we'll go back to adjournment. The meeting will be adjourned if there's no objection. The meeting is adjourned at 6:33 p.m. Thank you all and good night.